Hey YouTube, Kate Requalia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Nightrose deck profile for standard format. This is the newest of the Stride deck sets that we got in the form of the new Granblue support, giving us the Stride deck Nightrose and all of the different units to support the hollow playstyle that the deck is meant to revolve around, utilizing the drop zone to accomplish these plays. With the actual Stride deck sets, you do get a fully playable deck, but this is my updated deck with some added support made into the deck as well to use with the Nightrose lineup and the use of the drop zone and all the different cards that we can run with those cards also. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the actual ride deck itself. For the ride deck, we do have the energy generator, and with that energy generator, we also have the Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose. This is the energy crest that makes our Nightrose become a 13k, allows us to stride, and also gives us the option when 3 or more of your cards are discarded from the deck at the same time by your Vanguard's ability to choose a card from among the discard cards, and you may put it on the bottom of the deck. Also having boosted power-ups to our units for every face-up card in our stride zone. We get this crest when we ride into our grade 1 after our grade 0 Undying Departed Grenache, with the grade 1 being our Parting Shade. When it's placed by riding from Undying Departed Grenache, draw a card, and you get a Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose crest. Our grade 2 is the Pirate Swordsman Columbard, with the hollow ability when it's placed on rearguard. If you have it become hollowed, if you do, retire at the end of the turn. And when it's rode upon by a grade 3 with Nightrose and its card name, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 normal units without Sentinel from among them, reveal them, choose 1 from the reveal cards, put into your hand, and discard the rest of the reveal cards, giving you more search power for the top cards of your deck, with also having the ability of when this unit attacks. If this unit is hollowed, it gets plus 5,000 till end of battle. I'm making note of the rearguard ability because there are chances we can call it back out to rearguard with our other skills in the deck. And then our grade 3 being our Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose. We do run more copies of this card for the added use of the Stride ability, but before we get to those cards, I figured we'd go over the actual Stride units in the deck. 4 copies of the Mist Phantasm Pirate King Nightrose. With the Stride, you discard a grade 3 with Nightrose and its card name, and stride this card on your Vanguard from face down. And with this card having the Generation Break 2 ability, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can counter bless 1, retire 2 rear guards, choose up to 2 grade 2 or greater cards with different names from your drop, call them to rear. If your drop has 10 or more cards, this unit gets critical plus 1 until the end of that battle. If your drop has 15 or more, all those called units get plus 10 until end of turn. So added pressure, being able to call out more units when this card attacks, giving you multiple attacks for the turn as well. And the more cards you have set up in the drop zone, and also added critical pressure. It's the going second stride, since you do have to have a GB2 to use this ability. So the first go-to stride that we run is the Ghost Great King Obadiah, which we also run 4 copies of. With the stride step, just choosing a card from your hand with the sum of grades being 3 or greater, discarding them and striding this card. And also on the Vanguard circle, once per turn, you can turn a card face up from your G-Zone and look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, and shuffle the deck. Choose up to 1 card from your drop, call to rearguard. If you called a unit with the hollow ability, it gets plus 5 till end of turn. So what's also cool about the Nightrose deck is the lack of restriction for other units, which allows us to run more than just the needed encounter cards and the specific Nightrose support in the deck to do so, with our Great King Obadiah giving us more of that setup to make use of by flipping cards in our G-Zone face up also. For the grade 3s in the deck, we're running 3 additional copies of Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose. On the Vanguard circle, once per turn, Generation Break 2, when your rearguard is retired, discard the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may call that retired card to rearguard. So this is the ability that's made use of with the crest, since when that rearguard will be retired by the hollow ability, being able to mill the top 3 cards of your deck, then also call that card to rearguard, so very useful for that setup, and then put back for other cards we may not have wanted in the drop zone. And when this unit is strode upon during your turn, you can counter plus 1, just up to 1 card from your drop and call it to rearguard, and it gets plus 2,000 till end of turn. So added setup for more rearguards on your rearguard circles using the grade 3 ability when you stride onto your grade 4. We also run the 2 copies of Mighty Rogue Nightstorm, having the hollow ability and Generation Break 2 during your turn. If this unit's hollowed, it gets plus 10,000 power. And when this unit's discarded, you are paying for the cost for stride, you can draw a card. So added stride cost power for this unit as well. And then for using it for the cost of stride, it could also give you a target to be able to call back onto the rearguard circle with your Vanguard. For the grade 2s, we're running 3 copies of Marauding Shade. When this unit becomes hollowed, if you have a Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose Crest, it gets plus 5 until end of turn. If your drop has 10 or more, it gets plus 10 instead. And when it's put on the guard circle, if you have a Vampire Princess Nightrose Crest, it gets plus 5. And if your drop has 10 or more, it gets plus 10 instead. So just added power options for this unit. If you have more cards in your drop zone set up, the added power and shield for each of this card as well, well, just needing to put it in the hollow state to do so. And then 2 copies of the grade 2 Witch Doctor of Langor Negro Lazy. With this card, when it becomes hollowed other than during the battle phase, if you have a grade 3 grade Vanguard with Nightrose in its card name, counter +1, choose a card from your drop called to rearguard. And with the Generation Break 1, when this hollow unit is retired from rearguard, if you have a grade 3 grade Vanguard with Nightrose in its card name and you do not countercharge this turn, countercharge 1. You really only need the 2 of, because once again, it's drop zone setup, being able to have this card be retired and then just call it out again when you need that counter charge and also draw power setup. For some of the non-Granblue units that we run in the deck, since we do have the energy generator to make use of, 4 copies of Sea Rumble Brave Shooter, just for the added Energy Blast 3 option to get a card into our hand off of a draw when it's put on the guard circle or discarded from the hand. And when it's placed on rear guard, if you Persona Road this turn, counter +1 and Energy Blast 3, choose a card with grade 2 or less normal unit, which you're not going to make use of since you don't Persona Ride in this deck, since Nightrose does not have it, but it's mostly in the deck to use as the discard cost during the ride step to make use of our Energy Blast for more draw power. And then 3 copies of Hallucinatory Morpho. When this unit attacks, if your drop zone has a Blitz order, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 10,000 till end of battle, which we do run a couple Blitz orders and normal orders in the deck as well. And at the end of the battle, this unit attack to Vanguard, counter +1, bind this unit, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or greater Blitz order without Regalis piece, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle the deck. If your drop zone has a Blitz order, you may search for a normal order instead. So being able to search for that normal order on top of the Blitz orders that we run as well, using this grade 2. For the grade 1s, we're running 4 copies of Tommy the Ghosty Brothers. From the hand, being able to count as a discard for stride cost by getting grade +2. And being able to discard from the hand to search out a Nightrose as well, just if we have a Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose in our hand. So this card can help to get us ready for the actual stride into our Mist Phantasm Nightrose stride as well. And then the 3 copies of Witch Doctor of Powdered Bone, Negro Bone. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If it was placed from drop this turn, if you have a Vampire Princess with Nightrose Crest, retire this unit and draw a card. So just being able to not have the hollow ability, but still give you more of a draw power, thanks to a grade 1 booster. And then the 2 copies of Cam the Ghosty, just having the hollow ability when it's placed. If you have a Nightrose Crest, check in the top 5 of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, and shuffle the deck. So more card drop zones set up as well, and during your turn, if it's hollowed, getting plus 5,000, making it a 13k attacker on its own or a 13k booster. With the rest of the grade 1s just being 4 copies of Water Spout Djinn, the Sentinel of choice, since it is one of the Granblue Sentinels we got to go along with the Nightrose theme. And then for the actual orders that we run in the deck, the 1 copy of Spiritual Body Condensation for added power to call from the drop zone once again, with grade less than or equal to our Vanguard. The 1 copy of Ghost Chase, the Blitz order to search off of Morpho. Choosing one of your units, it gets plus 5 till the end of that battle. Choose one of your rear guards not being attacked and return it to your hand. So recycle power for some of our rear guards as well, using this Blitz order. And then lastly, the 2 copies of Nectar of Sensationalism. Choose one of your rear guards. Until end of turn, it gets plus 5 for every 5 cards in your drop. And if your drop has 15 or more cards, critical plus 1 as an added pressure to be able to have a rear guard to attack with added boost, and not just our Vanguard's own critical, but to have a rear guard with a guaranteed critical also. For the trigger lineup, we're going with the 8 critical, just for the added pressure that our Vanguard provides, and the plus 5 that the Crest provides as well, to hit for some pretty big rear guard attacks also. the 3 front triggers for the added Nightrose being able to call out new units. So the front trigger can just help for additional power to those cards as well, with the heals being for LG Pixie, just like I said with the Stride deck cards. Very, very fitting with the aesthetic of how the triggers look with it. And our over trigger being 1 Spiritual King of Aquatics, Eos Faro, for the add back power from the drop zone once again. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely happy with the added changes I made to the deck. It helps for a better setup of drop zone units, especially with our generic Stoicheia cards that we can run, along with the lineup of orders as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.